Hello everybody. In this video, we're going to continue our work on volume and capacity by focusing on how to convert units of volume and units of capacity. In this video, I'm going to focus on volume, and in the next one, I will focus on capacity. So please make sure that you've watched the previous video explaining what volume is, and you've had a chance to look at the online reading as well. We are working with volume at the moment. So we're taking SI units such as millimeters, centimeters, meters, and kilometers, and so on, but we're working within volume, so three-dimensional space. So the units are all going to be cubed because they're all three-dimensional, okay? And just to review, volume, the definition of volume is the space that a 3D object occupies, and capacity is how much we can fill a 3D object. So in order to understand how we convert units of volume and capacity, we need to start by visualizing a cube, a cubic centimeter. So a cubic centimeter is made up of 3 dimensions, okay? All the faces are equal in size, they're all squares. The length is equal to 1 centimeter, the width is equal to 1 centimeter, and the height is equal to 1 centimeter, okay? Now remember to find the volume of this cube. Because it is a prism, we multiply the length and width and height by each other, okay? So we do that right here. So length times width times height, the length is 1, the width is 1, the height is 1. When we multiply these together, we end up with 1. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. However, the units are centimeters cubed, because we are now talking about three-dimensional space. We're talking about volume, okay? So now we're going to take that idea and we're going to take it a little bit further. We're going to talk about a much bigger cube. This one is 1 cubic meter, not centimeter. So here, similarly, this is the length, this is your width, and this is your height, okay? So to find the volume of this cube, we're going to follow the same steps. Volume is length times width times height. So 1 meter times 1 meter times 1 meter, and that equals 1, because 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. But it's not going to be meters, it's going to be meters cubed, because now we're talking about volume. So the volume of this is 1 meters cubed, okay? So we're going to use this cubic meter to help us figure out how to convert between centimeters cubed and meters cubed, and vice versa. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take the little itty bitty centimeter cube that we discussed at the beginning, and I'm going to try to fit them inside this gigantic object, okay? So this is the length, right? This is 1 meter. And over here, this is the length of the little cube, and this is the length of the little cube. So I'm going to have 1 centimeter boxes all along this, okay? And they have to equal 1 meter at the end. So how many will we have? Well, from our formula sheet, we know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So we're going to have 100 little cubes all along the side here. And then we're going to have 100 little ones here as well, and 100 little ones here as well, okay? So 100 cubes. Okay, and why is that again? Because 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. Okay, so we will be able to fit 100 cubes here, and 100 cubes here, and 100 cubes here. Okay, so let me show you a better picture. There it is, 100, 100, 100. So I can calculate the volume of the same box that I calculated the volume for before, this exact same box, but this time, instead of using the meters, I'm going to use the centimeters, because they're equal to one another, so why not? So instead of going 1 meter times 1 meter times 1 meter, I'm going to go 100 centimeters times 100 centimeters times 100 centimeters. Okay, so that's the length, the width, and the height of the big cube. And when you multiply those together, we get, a million cubic centimeters. Okay, now that volume is equal to 1 meters cubed, because I didn't get a different object, it's the same object. The volume is 1 million centimeters cubed. I just used a different unit to represent the volume. Okay, so what this is telling me is that the conversion from meters cubed to centimeter cubed is 1 million. To go from 1 meter cubed to centimeter cubed, I multiply by 1,000,000. And now if I want to go the other way, I divide by 1,000,000 because the number is getting smaller. It's going from 1,000,000 to 1, right? So we say 1,000,000 is the conversion factor. Okay? Now, I know we don't always have time to draw boxes and try to visualize how many can fit here and there, so I have a trick for you. Okay? The trick is by using the conversion factor that is in your formula sheet, the one that looks like this, the one that doesn't have squared or doesn't have cubed. It's just meters, centimeters, hectometers, decimeters, you name it. Okay? We're going to use this factor to help us figure out this factor. Okay? And I'm going to show you how to do that. And that's probably the more efficient approach as opposed to drawing objects all the time. So, let's say I want to convert from meters cubed to centimeters cubed. That is my goal. Start by finding the conversion factor of length, so without cubed or squared, between centimeters and meters, okay? Because these are the ones I'm using. And I know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters, okay? We're going from here to here. Now, this is for one dimension, but remember, we're dealing with volume, right? Volume is 3-dimensional. So what I do is I convert this to meters cubed. Cubed means I multiplied by itself 3 times. So this has to be cubed. So it's 100 times 100 times 100. I have a total of 300s multiplied by each other. This is also going to be cubed. So centimeters cubed. So it's like I'm cubing both sides. Okay? So what is the take-home message here? If you know the conversion for the regular old meters and centimeters, to find the conversion factor for cubed, you take this number and you multiply it by itself a total of 3 times. Okay? So this is what we're doing over here. We take that 100 times 100 times 100, and that gives us 1,000,000. So 1 meter cubed is equal to 1,000,000 centimeters cubed. Okay? So now we are going to practice converting between meters cubed and centimeters cubed. Okay? Before we start talking about any of the other units, let's just get comfortable with those 2 units. Okay, let's practice. We are going to convert 0.12 cubic meters to cubic centimeters. So here I laid it out for you. We're going from here to here. So first, I need to know my conversion factor. What am I multiplying by? What am I dividing by? I need to know that number. So first, we start with comparing meters and centimeters. So from your formula sheet, 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. Now notice how I started with meters and then centimeters. Would it have been wrong if I wrote 100 centimeters equals 1 meters? No, it's not wrong. This statement is correct. But I am going from meters to centimeters, so I want to go in that direction here as well. Okay, so 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. Okay, but remember, we are working with volume, so that's 3. So to go from here to here, instead of multiplying just by 100, I'm going to multiply by a total of 300s. Okay, so what is that number? You can plug it in your calculator. That is equal to 1,000,000. So the conversion factor is 1,000,000, and we are multiplying by 1,000,000. Okay, because we're going from a small number to a bigger number. So now that I know my conversion factor, the next step is very easy. I am going to take my 0.12 and I'm going to multiply by 1,000,000, and that will give us the answer. I would actually like you to take a minute right now and plug this into your calculator, because I want to make sure that you know how to input this in your machine. So you should get 120,000 centimeters cubed. That is the final answer, everyone. 120 centimeters cubed. This one. Okay? All right, now let's try another example. Again, we're just working with centimeters cubed and meters cubed. We're not bringing in any other units. All right, so this time we are going the other direction. We're going from centimeters cubed to meters cubed, okay? Now you're going to notice that the process is very similar. It's just instead of multiplying, we're dividing in this case. So step number 1, start by writing your conversion factor. On your formula sheet, you should find 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meter, Okay, and notice how I wrote centimeters first this time, because I'm going from centimeters to meters, right? Now, 100 is becoming 1. The number is becoming smaller, so we're dividing by 100. Okay, but remember, we're dealing with volume, so we're dividing by a total of 300s. Not the number 300, no, but we're dividing by 300 by 100 3 times. Okay, again, we're dividing by the number 100 3 times. So if you're comfortable with these operations, you're basically dividing by a million. But if you don't see that right away, that's fine. Just do the division 3 times. So what I mean by that is, this is your number, right? Go divide by 100, hit enter. You'll get an answer. Divide by 100, hit enter. You'll get an answer. Divide by 100, hit enter. That's your final answer. See what I mean? See how we did it 3 times? Okay, so now we know our conversion factor. This is it. Step number 2 is to actually do the conversion. So take 63,966 and divide it by 100 3 times. All right, again, take a second right now and divide this on your calculator. Pause me if you have to, but make sure that you get the same answer that I am getting. If not, ask your teacher for help on how to input this into your calculator. That is really important, okay? All right, so this is the answer that you should have, and the unit is meters cubed. You have to put the units. We're working with measurement. We need to know what unit we are measuring, right? So you should always put the units. All right, so this is the final answer, folks. And this is how we convert units of volume. So now I'm going to stop this video here, and then in the next video, we're going to talk about other units, meters cubed and millimeters cubed and kilometers cubed and all of that.